Help! I adopted a dog and now I regret it. Welcome to the Cat and Dog House, where we help cat and dog parents better understand their pets. I'm Susan Nilsson and I'm an accredited cat and dog behavior professional. In this video, I'm going to be talking about adopting a dog and regretting it, based on my experiences with Maggie, the dog we adopted and almost immediately returned to the shelter, but didn't. Adopting a rescue dog is a big decision and commitment, and sometimes it may not work out as planned, for all sorts of reasons. If you find yourself regretting your decision to adopt, it's important to take a step back and evaluate the situation. Are there any specific issues or concerns that are causing your regret? Can they be addressed through training or seeking professional help? Remember that rescue dogs may have had difficult or traumatic pasts and may need extra patience and support as they adjust to their new home. But if you find yourself regretting your adoption or feel unable to provide the love and care your rescue dog needs, please reach out to a local shelter or rescue organization. They should be able to give you advice and help find your dog a new home, if necessary. It's hard not to feel guilty, but the most important thing is to do what's in everyone's best interests, including the dog's. When we adopted Maggie, we already had 4 dogs. We certainly weren't looking for a 5th, but she was miserable in the shelter where I was volunteering at the time. She didn't do well with other dogs, so she would be taken outside and put in a pen by herself. Because she had been relinquished at least 3 times, she had abandonment issues and separation anxiety, and would bark because she didn't like to be left alone. This meant the shelter staff would bring her inside again because they wanted to keep noise levels down. Whenever I was there, she would look balefully at me during our little training sessions and beg me to help her. Yes, those expressive big brown eyes really could talk. What could I do? I decided to foster her, and we all know how that ends. We brought her home one Saturday afternoon and did all the careful introductions with our other dogs, one dog at a time, paired with copious amounts of treats and positive experiences. A couple of hours later, they all went back inside the house together and had dinner. Everything was going great. We took them all back out before bedtime for their bathroom break. That went great too. Until suddenly it didn't. Something happened that we didn't see, and suddenly Maggie and one of our female dogs, Daisy, were fighting. It was dark and we'd been too complacent, not paying attention to what the dogs were doing. We were able to break them apart and get them back inside, but everyone was so amped up we couldn't risk having them in the same room together. It was midnight by now and we had to quickly come up with some sort of plan to keep everyone apart, so they'd all feel safe and could calm down. Our mistake? We'd done far too much far too soon. Maggie was so stressed from her time in the shelter and needed time to regroup and learn that she was safe in her new situation, before doing anything as monumental as meeting other pets. Unsurprisingly, the situation was no better the next day, and it was so stressful for all of us, dogs included, that we seriously considered driving her back to the shelter. But I felt that if we did that, they might classify her as an aggressive dog, and her future could be at risk. I didn't want anything bad to happen because of something that wasn't even her fault. We decided to regroup and figure out how we could do things differently. We worked out a plan to slowly reintroduce the dogs, while carefully managing them apart the rest of the time. This meant rotating the dogs so they could have alone time and use dog gates and indoor pens to keep them separate inside the house. We also amped up mental challenges like stuffed Kongs, like Maggie has here, lick-in-its, and sniffing games to keep their brains active, meaning they would be calmer overall. Over time, we redid the introductions, again one dog at a time and much more slowly. It was a lot of effort and not without its challenges and stresses. But we soon got into a routine where each dog knew what was happening and when, so were able to calm down and relax. From there we went from strength to strength, and Maggie eventually moved with us, and the other 4 dogs, from California to Northern Europe, where she adapted to the snow like a duck to water. If you find yourself regretting the decision to adopt your dog, consider whether you might be able to overcome whatever the issues are, and how you can find the right help. If it's just not possible for whatever reason, then fair enough. Either way, you don't have to do it alone. There are so many amazing rescue organizations, trainers and behavior consultants out there who can help. I've listed some of my recommended professional training associations below. For us personally, I'm so glad we didn't take Maggie back to the shelter on her second day with us. Sticking with it and not giving up on her was the best decision ever. She was a dog in a million who was up for anything at any time. She embraced life full on, a bull in a china shop, and couldn't wait to see what was around the next corner. We had so much fun with her and she made us laugh every single day. To get more insider insights into dogs and why they do what they do, check out my dog behavior playlist where I talk about all sorts, from fear and aggression, to coping with vet visits, to canine musical preferences, and much more. Link above and below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos on dog behavior. Thanks for watching. Come see us at catanddoghouse.com/dogs.